All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's episode number 17. It's Alex and Alan here with you today. No Nick, again, sadly. And then this will be the final episode, pause for dramatic effect, just of the year. So this is the last episode that we'll be doing in 2024, but don't worry, we will be back in 2025, much to Dave's relief, who just had a minor heart attack then. So just a quick review, quick update to close out the year. So a few things to update everyone on. First one being the Q3 awards have now been confirmed. Trophies have been delivered and they will be going out prior to this going live, so the people will know. But the winners, so we had a double winner this time, picking up actually second award of the year, was Easton McConaughey from Leeds Docks. So he won Helping Communities Thrive. He did, he faced his fears and did a tandem skydive with his granddaughter, raising money for Macmillan. So very well done to Easton on that one. And then Easton's picked up a second award in his third of the year for delivering an A-grade service. So this was a couple of months ago. Leeds Docks, he was on patrol and there was a person actually in the docks. It was the middle of the night, in the docks struggling, and he said they were bobbing up and down and they weren't taking the life buoy that he was throwing in. So at that point he jumped in and pulled the gentleman out.
Fantastic. And
did all the kind of the relevant CPR stuff and cause I think he was unconscious at the time when he pulled him out. Baha, his colleague, got hold of the emergency services, and I think there were a few passers-by as well that came in and helped, but just a remarkable
fantastic
feat. So very, very well done to Easton. And in a similar vein, Baha picked up his second award of the year, and he's won People First. So again, Leeds Docks, and again, it was pulling. It's a regular thing, this. Mm-hmm. People like going swimming at night. So he pulled a young lady out of the water, and again, just did all. She was fine at the time. Well, not fine at the time, but she grabbed the buoy and he pulled her out and just kind of calmed and settled her down and made sure she was okay before she then took herself off on the night. But yeah, great work again from the guys. Remarkable acts of courage and bravery on all counts. So the other two awards is the team award, which, and I'm very sorry in advance if I butcher the pronunciation of this, but it was Radislav, apologies, Nazar, and Sylvia Jasinska from number 1 Spinning Fields, a cleaning team.
Yep, that's correct, yeah.
We always seem to get great feedback from...
Yeah, I think recently there been some exceptional feedback, and this team have done some great work, specifically on a project that they were working on for the client, and the feedback was tremendous. So I think well-deserved team award for them.
100%. And the final award of Q3 was Acting with Uncompromising Integrity and Honesty, and that award went to Andy Troughton. Mm-hmm. Again, just great feedback from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, from numerous clients. I think Andy's been a bit of a revelation. He stepped up from an officer's position into an ops manager's position, embraced it, great communication skills with not only clients but also staff members, gets people on board as part of his team, and gets behind them and delivers the service with amazing effectiveness. Very, very proud of Andy.
Yeah, no, he's sorry, that's my laptop going off. So that wraps up Q3. Congratulations to everyone. Q4 closes in a week and a half, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So by the time this goes out, there'll still be time to get nominations in for any deserving colleagues. And off the back of that, we're now locked in for the annual awards. So that is going to be Friday the 14th of March.
Yep.
So we've got location, I think we've got catering all sorted. We've got Luke coming to play with his band, so he'll do a set for us. And I've been roped into presenting it.
Absolutely.
For some reason. So that'll happen next year, but yeah, we'll pick up the Q4 winners in one of the January episodes, and then everyone who's won a quarter will be automatically shortlisted for the final annual awards dinner, which will be very good. So as of recording, what we're in today, we're on the 18th of December. So we are kind of well in the mix of our 12 days of giving in the run up to Christmas. So anyone who's been following our socials will have seen regular posts, but we'll just kind of touch on what we've been doing and who we have been doing it for. So there's ongoing cycle for Santas. So we've got exercise bikes kindly donated by Condition Gym in Leeds, APAM at City Square, Pure Gym at Number One Spinning Fields in Manchester, and we've got some at MGY, we've got one at the office, and we've got
ABC
as well. Who's donated those for us?
Kind of me.
Did you buy them?
Ultimately, yeah. So the idea is we sort of got quite a cheap price, sell them after Christmas when they're more marketable, and then more money towards the charities. Fantastic.
So we're doing that for the Rainbow Trust, and the idea is across all those 6-7 bikes, we want to cover the distance from Alvarium in Manchester to the North Pole.
Yes.
So there's a lot of cycling still to do.
About 4,000 kilometres.
Yeah, 4,500 kilometres is the entire distance. So I think everyone's getting the gym gear out this week.
Absolutely. Well, I'm booked in for tomorrow. So.
Fantastic. So we've done walking home for Christmas, which was I think it was a walk that Anna planned the map.
She did, yes. So it's kind of a walk around Rivington, which is near Horwich Bolton. So we did probably about a 15 kilometre walk, and then up Rivington Pike, which was absolute killer, but absolutely stunning scenery. So if you ever get the opportunity, have a walk around Rivington. It's gorgeous.
Fantastic.
But yeah, it was quite taxing.
I imagine. So I think Nick had one of those weighted chests,
of course,
vests on as well.
Yeah, 20 kilos.
So that was for walking with the wounded. What we'll do as well is in the link on the audio and the link for the video, we'll pop in all the links. So if anyone wants to make a donation, because obviously there's a lot of different charities that we're raising for, every pound and penny counts. So your generosity is greatly appreciated. We delivered a lot of selection boxes for schools, scouts.
Yep.
I think, was that Nick that was out delivering those?
Yeah.
We've got ongoing clothing donations. So there's a couple of boxes, I think, in the office, and there's a couple in Number One Spinning Fields as well. So new clothes, hats, scarves, gloves for the homeless and for the needy, which is fantastic. I think as we speak, literally now at point of recording, I think Anna and Mike are delivering food for the food banks.
Yeah.
So we've collected a lot of non-perishable stuff for food banks that are local to Manchester. Embassy,
yep.
Do you want to fill us in on this one?
Effectively, we work with Embassy. We've worked with Embassy for probably about 6 years now, and we've just donated £2,500 to Embassy. Excuse me. And again, this week there'll be a delivery of clothing to the Embassy Homeless charity as well. So cool. Just to help them with the homeless shelter.
That's what they specialise in, is helping.
Yeah, so Embassy effectively, going back a few years ago, it was called Embassy Bus, and it was basically a coach that drove around Manchester, pick up homeless people, supported them, etc., etc. Unfortunately, COVID paid dividends on that, and they had to move on to something different. So they've got a village that they're developing in Salford, under the railway arches. So they've got funding for that. Fantastic project. I spoke to Sid, the co-founder, on Monday this week, and he was telling me all about it, and we're going to arrange a visit over there. Maybe we can do pick up on a further podcast with that, but exciting and an innovative project, which is going to be really good.
Yeah, no, it'd be great to get those guys on. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
So we did some work for MBEL's Community Support Project, which is a community project in Gateshead in the northeast. I was out there yesterday, and it was delivering like Christmas presents and non-perishable foods and like kind of gift packages to a couple of the local primary schools. So it's like supporting needy families that don't have much to give the children at Christmas. So a really nice and worthy support there. We're doing children in care Christmas presents for MCC, LCC and WBC, which is Warrington and Manchester City Councils. We're doing a blood drive tomorrow in Oldham, so that'll come and gone by the time this goes out. But that's been driven by Anand and Mansuk, I believe, from our control room. So they've set up, I think, at their temple in Oldham. They've arranged for a blood drive, basically, so that there's a number of us from the office going down to donate our samples, blood only. We're doing Dawn's doing some helping with the elderly, so I think her and Chris are visiting some elderly, so they're visiting a couple of elderly care homes and doing a few bits and bobs there. I'm going to have to scroll my screen up, sorry Dave. There was the homeless welfare care packages that we're doing on Christmas Eve. So who's doing it with you in Manchester?
At the moment, we've got Phil from Number One. He's volunteered to come out and give up his time to do that, and I think Paul as well.
Yeah, I think Paul's either doing Manchester or he's coming over to Leeds. But what that is basically is I think you've sorted the care packages. And then we just literally go out on the street.
So it's effectively some treats for homeless people and some welfare items, combs, deodorants, brushes.
All the stuff that we take for granted.
Essentials, toothpaste, toothbrushes, etc.
Fantastic. And as well, we were not at loggerheads, but this is something you're super passionate about on doing on Christmas Eve, which I think is fantastic because you see a lot of companies in the build up to Christmas kind of posting all the stuff, and then Christmas Eve everything just stops. So yeah, we'll all be hitting the cobbles of Manchester and Leeds Christmas Eve, getting those packages out. And then the final one was We Love Manchester. So we made a £5,000 donation, was it?
That's right, yeah.
I saw the picture on LinkedIn the other day with you with a massive knocking check.
So we donated that on Tuesday this week, I think it was. And again, that was presented to the chief exec for the charity at the town hall. Very well received, and again, a fantastic charity. We Love Manchester has been around for quite a few years now, and just some fantastic work.
That's all the 12 days of giving that we've done this year. Shout out to Solvi, who've done a great job of marketing that for us. And we'll be back again, I'm sure, with the 12 days of giving next year. I'm sure Nick will have some even more wacky ideas for us.
The wackier the better, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. But no, this has been really positive this year, and it's great to give back to. I think generally on the whole, we've kind of tackled smaller, more local charities that kind of probably get a little bit more overlooked by the big kind of juggernaut charities. So yeah, it's been really rewarding to kind of see the benefits of that. So that's that in terms of 12 Days of Christmas. And I think just before we wrap up, we were talking about this on the group chat last night, just kind of what our highlights have been for the year so far. So I've got Nick sent his, so I'll read off what Nick's were. And in fact, before we do that, again, pause for dramatic effect. He's not here to tell us about this, sadly, but we will give him a shout out. So our fearless leader, Nick, has been nominated for the businessdesk.com Northwest Company Leader of the Year for 2025. So basically what that is, I'm reading this from script, so apologies if this sounds a bit like an ad. The Northwest business community will come together to celebrate the best in business leadership. The businessdesk.com created the Leadership Awards to celebrate people who are role models within their organisations and raise the bar for their competitors. The winners will show the qualities. Sorry, this isn't wrapped properly. I'm on Excel here. But basically, it's an award that Nick's been nominated for. We're not actually sure who's actually nominated for it. We've got an idea.
We suspect. But
it's a third party that's nominated for it. It's nothing to do with Adept, which is just superb, and we're really proud of Nick. He is always at the back of the queue to take credit for things when he should be at the front. So the reason why Adept is the business it is down to him.
Absolutely.
He drives the culture. Everyone at Adept is fully behind Nick, and we've definitely got our fingers crossed for him that he picks up this award.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which will come out in March.
Yep.
So congrats, Nick. Take the praise for once in your life, and the very best of luck for the award in March. So the highlights for the year, mate. Nick, his three were Luke and Matt. So the project that we've run with the Down Syndrome Association, getting that off the ground, and watching those guys thrive in the roles and continue to go from strength to strength. And we've already got a third candidate lined up to join us in Leeds in early 2025, which we're very excited about. I met the young man a couple of weeks ago with his mum, and Steve Bickers and I had a good chat with him, and we think he'll be a terrific asset to the business. So stand by for updates on that in 2025.
Superb.
Nick's second one was becoming Greater Manchester Good Employment Charter Employer of the Year, which was a wonderful surprise for us all. I know we've waxed lyrical and talked a lot about that, but yep, that was superb. And his final one was the Culture Committee becoming embedded in the business and watching them introduce amazing initiatives, and looking forward to the awards night next year, which is something that was created and driven by the Culture Committee. What have been your highlights?
Since I got the message last night and we talked about it, sort of there's a lot of things, and a lot of them you mentioned, and I know some of it on your list are my favourites as well. So it's kind of difficult because it's been a fantastic year. Personally, I think there's a couple of tangible things. So one of the ones is around about redeveloping our mobile vehicle fleet, bringing in electric vehicles, going through that process and sustainability, etc., ESG. Love being part of that. Love the development of it. The other ones were about, again, more tangible, about the company developing, watching the company expand. From our core areas to UK wide, we new contracts popping up all over. The way we've operated, the way we've put them together, where we delivered the service, where we're improving services, etc. And it's been fantastic to see. But I think the big one for me is the whole team, and I think this year has not been without challenges. We've had some difficult times, and we've had some new people come into the operation, from admin to business to operations, etc. And just watching the team develop and working with the team to develop and people expand, and I'll chuck a couple of names out. Anand and Mansuk took on new roles this year, and I've got to say they've really stepped up. They've really started to deliver. Some of the ideas they're coming up with are fantastic. So I love seeing that.
It's nice to see internal promotion.
Absolutely, it's massive, absolutely massive to watch people develop and having those conversations, those ideas that are coming towards us now. And they're actually, they're happening. They're making things happen, which is great. So credit there. Anna's joined the team. She's been a revelation. We've got Chris, who's joined the team. Mark and Chris work well together. We've got Kev, who's joined the team. Kev and the clean, as part of the clean team. Massive input into what we're doing, and I just love that aspect. That's the proudest bit for me is watching that whole operations and admin team grow. It's been fantastic. So well done to everybody.
Yeah, well done everyone. For me, it would be kind of like around the social stuff that we've done. So I know I tend to duck out of a lot of it, but the Dragon Boat racing was a particular highlight for me. That was a superb day.
Yeah.
I know we're definitely going to be doing that again in 2025. I think the Greater Manchester Good Employment Charter Awards was a particular highlight because that just kind of rubber stamped external approval for everything that we're doing, and just gives us a bit of weighting to what we're actually trying to say, and what we're doing is backed up and it's not just hot air and words like we see a lot of online. And I think for me as well, this podcast has been a particular highlight just because it's something different. We're tackling kind of taboo subjects in the industry that we're getting a lot of good feedback from. So like the episode with Paul recently and Lee Turner recently, I've had a lot of messages inbound about that. So it's nice to see that we're making waves and kind of making a bit of a voice in the industry. And I'm sure Dave will be pleased to know that we very much plan to continue that in 2025 as well. I think that's about it.
I think the podcast has been a game changer. You know, and it's put us right at the top with communication to the industry, industries.
100%. 100%.
That's it.
And I think just before we wrap up, obviously we've been 17 episodes in this year. From its inception to now, I think it's come on leaps and bounds. Big shout out to Dave and James from the Yorkshire Podcast Studios. We will drop a link into the description for anyone who wants to start a podcast. These guys are industry leaders. They've got great studios. They're a great team. They do a superb job in editing and publishing our podcasts. So we'll drop a link in there for those guys as well. A big shout out to them and a big thank you for that. And I suppose that's it. So with that, we will bid 2024 a fond farewell, and we'll see you in the new year.